Namaste, beautiful yogis. Welcome to Ali Kamenova Yoga. I'm Ali, and today we are doing a class for elongation based on the bladder meridian and one of the bladder points that has to do with anything that has to do with the head and neck position, neck alignment, neck pain, in general position, but also with anxiety, fear, uncertainty, or just not feeling confident, lack of courage, lack of confidence, which has to do with the bladder. We're going to work on flexibility and fluid flexibility, a little bit of elongation in a Vinyasa form. And we'll stimulate the bladder 10 acupressure point. I will put a graph for it. You can also pause now and just look up bladder 10 if you're looking at this video, not from the schedule. And I'll explain where it is, and because we're doing massage in general would be very beneficial in that area as it is. Even without specifically going into the point. The way the meridians work, they're perfect as a segue right now. It's not my specialty. If you want to get the amazing acupuncture stuff, go to a really good acupuncturist that's going to nail the exact points and everything. But it's really beautiful to know your own body and to work with your own body, because there is some value to it that is amazing. Just the way if you do something yourself with your hands, it has a completely different meaning and value as when someone does it for you, right? So they both need it at different times. So what we're doing here is we're working on the meridians, and the meridians work very beautifully with our program and with yoga because they work off of fascia. They are basically a physical place in the body. So the way Western medicine has been explaining them for years, that they're kind of almost like an etheric, non-real, non-biological, non-physiological place in the body. They're just more of energy, moving energy. But the thing is, we can explain that through the understanding of fascia. Now it's coming out recently, and I think it's been known before that, like before the advances of modern medicine, that was more understood and it was forgotten, and then we're rediscovering it, that fascia is electrical. It's like an electric wire that conducts electricity and receives electricity, and furthermore, which is really powerful about fascia, it generates electricity. So the body generates its own electricity. The body is electric. There is a book like that. That's a lot of physical practitioners that are understanding the body on a deep level understand that the body is electric. It runs electricity through itself, and when we ground it on the earth or through the sun, when we charge through the sun, we ground the excess electricity, and also we generate more electricity in the areas where we need to run the circuit. So fascia runs like collagen fibers. It's thick collagen fibers that almost form one whole thing. Fascia is said to be extremely tough and unpenetratable. So it's really thick, really tough. It's not really studied in medicine, just like lymph. Both of them are kind of not understood and ignored almost in a lot of medical knowledge. Both of them run on the electric energy that we generate and we create through the power of water in the case of lymph. And I will have to guess that fascia has something to do again with water. So the meridians run as a electric wire, and they're connected from the beginning of the meridian, say with the bladder, from the head all the way into the feet. It's all one electric circuit, and when a great practitioner accesses the acupuncture points, there are strong points along the meridian, along the fascia, and the fascia is really, you can stimulate parts of the fascia through through working on the fascia in one end, you can stimulate other parts of the fascia, which is the meridian, and that meridian is related, connected to an organ. So then you affect the organ and the whole psychology related to the organ. Every organ is given a particular, not only Chinese medicine, there is other tradition, every organ is given a particular emotional profile. And also when it's in disbalance, in the case of the bladder, urinary bladder, we have lack of self-confidence and courage and uncertainty and fear and anxiety. And sometimes you can work through breathing and grounding and meditation and sun and etc., earthing, but also you can work through movement. Through movement, mantra, prayer, etc., there is different roads. With urinary bladder 10, we're going to work on the bladder, and also I will do a lot of poses that affect the bladder, the meridian. It runs in the back of the, through the back and through the hamstrings, where the hamstrings are. So stretching that area. We're going to stretch that area, and we're going to elongate. Through elongation, again, we're affecting a lot of the meridians. We're going to affect a whole lot of meridians, and that is what's so beautiful about yoga, because that segues into Chinese medicine, for example, or into acupuncture, because when we are working with the fascia and we keep it loose, it's more electric, it's more charged, it's more balanced, and we're more flexible, and everything it just runs, everything operates without blockages, stagnation, electricity, shortcutting, or not being able to generate electricity in certain areas of the body. So it's a beautiful big subject, but I'm not gonna keep going because you're here to move and I'm here to move. So that's the intro, and now let's begin and let's flow with love, strength, and ease. All right, starting at the front, loosen the hips and just give them kind of like a non-particular shake. It doesn't have to be a dancey shake, just kind of loosen the body everywhere. And just swing and sway and twist and all of that. Just give them a lot of movement and fluidity and shake up. And you can shake the whole leg here by dropping the heels rapidly to where all your tissues here are getting a good shake. All right, so the upper body now, just shake it. Bring it into the upper body. It's said that belly dancing was developed in order for the woman to connect to the uterus and the womb, and to be able to really feel that process and organs. So there is something to movement where it brings us into an organ. So now here we're gonna bring ourselves to bladder. So for bladder, I'm gonna post an image, and you can always pause, but when you get to the base of the skull, just a touch above the hairline or at the hairline, it depends, kind of in line with the bottom part of the ear, base of skull. When you find your C1, cervical spine 1, so the end of the spine and the beginning of the skull, in the occipital hollow, so there is that hollow part right on about 2 to 5 centimeters out. So 2 to 5 centimeters out from the end of the spine or C1, you're gonna bring your fingers out into that hollow. If you don't get it right, don't worry, because you're gonna still massage the neck. If you find the hollow, you're gonna massage it And it just opens up your breath if you find the hollow. The face was a little easier, but here it's pretty easy, but still there's a lot in the back of the head, so you can always double check with the photos. I'll upload the photos. So again, from the midline, C1 out about 2 to 5 centimeters where the hollow is, depending on your personal anatomy, and you massage there. And when you find the point, you're gonna you find yourself taking a really big breath after you hold it for a minute or so. If you don't find it, just try again. Look at different photos. I'll upload 3 photos, for example, so that you get some different variations. It's just around the hairline into the hollow on about 2 to 5 centimeters from the midline. Great, now we're going to just grab the fingers and almost like spreading the fascia apart, the muscles apart here in the base of the head. You're just gonna work on the muscles and the fascia. Now, a lot of alternative practitioners lately have been saying, and I think this will be very exciting to go deep into in the next, say, 50 years, that we move not because of the classic explanation of nerves, because we move not upon the moment we think to move, but it happens simultaneously. So there isn't this time for long pathways, but fascia is really the missing piece of understanding the body. And it's being more and more popular lately, so that's interesting to see where this goes, because I mean, anything like this will take decades to be studied or to just even make it into any form of understanding. So you're just almost like bringing the fascia, stretching the fascia in the back and just massaging it out, and now you can massage it up, fingers on the skull, and you're just bringing it up. This whole area is you're affecting a few meridians, so it can be very, very grounding. And now you can again bring your finger into a bladder 10 point, into the hollow, to the sides, laterally to C1. So if you find C1, slightly out into the hollow. Great. And you're going to do petrissage. So you're just going to grab a strand of collagen or fascia or muscle and connective tissue into here the back, and just pinch it or massage it, petrissage it off of the back here to just relax the trapezius. So I'm breathing about twice as good as in the beginning. I was breathing just fine, everything was fine, and now it's just a different quality. I have been practicing on my own pet research just about daily, and I just love it with yoga. And grab here the tissue and pull it apart. So it's, again, think fascia. When we do this kind of deep tissue, deep myofascial moves, think fascia. You're not stretching the skin, you're not tugging on the skin, you're grabbing the tissue under and pulling apart. Okay, good, let's begin. Twist side to side. Stomach vacuums. Two more. They're great for the bladder, the stomach, reproductive organs. Mula bandha and stomach vacuum. And inhale, reach up, clasp, bend to one side, side bend, opposite side. One more time, reach, reach. Hands behind the head, you can separate the fingers. And open, elbows directed outward. And slightly back, chest up. Exhale, dive down. And hang here for a moment, feet hip width apart, spread the toes. You can sway back and forth onto the entire foot using the foot. The entire surface of the foot. Inhale halfway up and plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. Press equally all 10 toes down, so don't twist on certain toes. And from here, drop your knees and glide your chest down, and now glide your hands in front of you. We want to drop the chest down towards the floor to open up the back. And plank. Down dog. Walk in place here. And let's bend the knees and push the hips back. So we're effectively stretching the torso, kind of like a cat, and back into down dog. So that's the move. The move is kind of simple, but you're putting effort into it. You're really feeling your upper body. A few of those you can move fluidly, but really put a little bit of contraction in the back muscles as you stretch them. And let's hold it. Push the hips back, bend the knees, and really stretch that upper back. Good. Walk your hands back to your feet. And here we're going to point the toes out and squat and straighten. And feel your spine through this move. A few of those with the breath. Great. Walk back to plank. And let's step the right foot through. Lunge. Hold it. Clasp your hands and reach over. Nice deep breath. Hands in prayer, lengthen, twist, left elbow to right knee. Feel your upper back here and release it. Let go of the tension there. And slowly coming up. Drop the back knee down and reach back, crescent. Great. And Vinyasa. And down dog. Plank, step the left foot through. High lunge. Breathe. Clasp your hands and reach over, side bend to your left, and really lengthen through that front of the thigh area, side body. Slowly coming out. Feel the lunge. And let's bring the hands over the heart, lengthen and twist. and slowly coming out. And you can reach back, drop the shoulders away from the ears. And let's lower the back knee, a little wider stance here, into crescent. And plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. And onto all fours and just move side to side here. S curve of the spine. And down dog. Inhale the right leg up and open it and lift through the knee, bend the left knee and straighten the left knee. So bend and feel it here, straighten and put energy into the right knee, bend, lift, bend and lift, put energy. I feel like I'm teaching ballet, put energy into that knee. And drop it behind, lift into wild thing. Into side plank. And plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. Chaturanga. And down dog. Now all these poses, chaturanga, up dog, down dog, they're your place of orientation or place of checking in, because they're very equal standing poses, so you have to use your parts, sides, left and right equally. So if you're favoring one side in forward bends, back bends, or anything with the strength of the body in plank, if you're really tuned in and paying attention, you see where you're kind of crooked, and you can correct that just with minding your alignment. So here you're gonna place your weight equally on both hands and on each and every knuckle of each and every finger, and on each and every base of a finger. That way you know your shoulders are being used equally, wrists are being loaded properly. When you see most people do planks and down dogs like that, that can over time really stress the wrists out. So on the other hand, this can strengthen the wrist in the long run. Proper alignment. Let's
let's take the left leg up, open, and bend the right knee and straighten and lift that knee a little higher. Bend the right knee and give a little more energy into the left. Bend and lift. Bend and lift. Bend and lift. Bend and lift. And just feel it. So you're gonna have a lot of strength in this stretch. Step it back into one thing. Side plank. Plank, chaturanga, equal up dog, so pay attention to the 10 toes. And down dog. Take the right leg up, and here we're going to bend the left knee and push the hips back and straighten onto the tippy toes on the left side, and again scrunch up, straighten and lengthen, scrunch up, lift, scrunch up. So here, as opposed to body strength, we're looking for a lot of length. Feel the length, as if you're stretching like a band. Okay, step the right foot through warrior two. And reverse it. Coming out. You can bring your head in the back of your head where bladder 10 is, and just give it a general massage for 30 seconds. Circular. And side angle. Reaching with the left hand up and over, palm facing down, and let's bring the left hand on the floor, revolving half moon. Lengthen the space between the right hip and shoulder, and at the same time lift that heel up. And intense stretch. Step your left foot somewhere behind the right, square and level the hips. Come up and lower down. And let's take the left hand out on the floor, revolving triangle, left hand down, right hand up. And finish it off with one more side, intense side stretch. And a beautiful plank. To chaturanga, to up dog, to chaturanga down dog. Take the left leg up, bend the right knee, scrunch up, lengthen, scrunch up. So here the length comes from feeling the move. So flexibility is not only how flexible your joints and tissues are and muscles, and it's a little more to it, how you move, how you contract, how you release. So here you get to really experience it in motion. And step it through. Warrior two. Spread the toes and really use the entire foot again. When you use the foot, you load the joints properly, ankles are loaded properly, activated properly, knees, pelvis, hips, tailbone, internal organs. The fascia, as it moves through the entire body, it's what contains the internal organs. So, because the body's design is so beautiful, you can massage the back of the head. The body's design is so beautiful that when we work, we can work from a distance, trigger points and all of that. We can work from distance. We can work through emotions. We can work through distant moves. Say stretching a certain part of the body can affect an organ. And we're working, and the explanation of fascia is really amazing because it brings it more into physical terms rather than this thing that the ancients believe in, but we just kind of wool. Although wool probably become obvious to us soon, and it would not have been hidden. We haven't been able to see it. We're only able to see what you can reach back, what our consciousness allows us to perceive. So it's really a matter of preparing yourself to perceive. And we perceive very little of reality. So side angle, activate the feet, open that
rib cage. Those are all contemplations. They're not really meant to say much more than to ignite you to just observe within yourself, really. With calmness. Great. Let's take that right hand down. Take the right leg up. Revolving half moon. Open that space between the hip and the shoulder and lift that heel. And step it back into intense side stretch and set yourself up for it and lower down. And let's take the right hand down, left arm up, revolving triangle. And one more intense side stretch. And lower down onto your knees and stretch side to side, kind of like a cat stretch, but side to side. Lean into one side, lean into the other, but think length. And turn your hands back towards you, fingers back towards you, and we're gonna. Now, the easiest way to do this pose is elbows into the belly, and you can just lift off here and hold the legs on the ground if you don't want to take off. It does massage internal organs, so if you want to take your legs off, just do that, and you can keep them in a... And you can bring your chin to the floor, whichever one is best for you. And come out when you're ready. Child's pose. You can bring your hands on that bladder point, and you can just give a general massage to the area. Coming up, right leg bent, left leg out, and you can do a side bend here. I'm elongating the entire right side. It feels right. You can reach deeper, or you can just feel it here. And let's change. And change sides, left leg in front of your right ankle over the left knee. Let's stretch here. And breathe. And change. And grab your left leg and just straighten and bring back. Straighten and bring back. Here we're just working with fluid or with motion, flexibility and motion, so you're just feeling your way through it without being too stiff or too stern about it. You're moving, feeling. And opposite side. And forward fold. And slowly coming up, and you can just bring your hands along the back of the leg, just to bring your focus along the bottom meridian in this case, which is the back of the legs. And let's open and reach side to side, side to side, side to side, and wide-legged side stretch hold, side bend. And change. and center. And here we're again going to just feel. Find a place where you can flex as you move back and forth, a small move and somewhat of a fluid move. Find a place where you can flex your quads and flex your glutes, and just be in a place where you really feel stretching happening, and just stay there in that sweet spot where you're just working with your flexibility. Great. And slowly coming out, shake it out. Give me a reverse side plank or reverse plank. Here, oh, copy. Here we're gonna do bending of the knees, stepping onto your foot, right foot down. Now we're gonna extend the left and like a tabletop, one-legged tabletop alignment. And here we're going to get a good alignment. Lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower, to give it a little more booty change. Lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower, and lay down. A stomach vacuum. And two more. And into plank, plow, sorry. And into shoulder stand. Candle, also known as candle in gymnastics. And slowly coming out, let's stretch the back of the leg, one leg at a time. Right leg over the torso, left leg over the torso. You can glide the back of the leg with your hand. And stretch out. So you're gonna point your toes and reach with your hands over your head
and stretch the entire body. There is energy key in every portion of every part, every little particle of the body, every little part of the body. And release. Let go. And lay for a few moments here. In quiet. Turn to within, contemplation. So there is a lot of talk about meditation, but observation and contemplation are equally as important. To be able to sit, for example, on a mountaintop or in nature or by a creek and to observe. Contemplation without emotion. So we again step into the higher mind, exit the stormy emotions or the lower doubtful mind, the monkey mind. And we sit in a place where we're more in we witness the wholeness, the wisdom, the genius in everything around us, and we can have moments of absolute epiphanies, of realizations, discoveries, self-discoveries, deeper truths, etc. in such moments when we're not in a monkey mind contemplation, but we're deeply observant, deeply present. And in a place like this, we're really able to communicate with the deeper self and higher self. How you want to call it is it's not as important. And to bring about visions, where they come from, it may come from your higher self, it may come from your knowingness, intuition, etc., and bring about visions of where you're going, what you're working towards, what you're attracting, what you're creating. Feel the intention behind it. Feel why you're creating that vision. So you're gonna bring a vision as you imagine yourself sitting at the side of a creek or a beautiful flower meadow, and you're just envisioning a bright, beautiful future for yourself, your path, so to speak. You see your path, what you're here to manifest, not out of pure desire or ego or want, but because that is the place that your soul is headed towards in its highest expression, her higher expression. And because that's what you're here to do, and that's how you're gonna serve and be happy and be content and be at peace and be of service to yourself, to society, to the earth, to animals, to nature. So you're gonna bring about that vision. So that vision, of course, it's about you, but it doesn't end with you. It's about the whole. We're all one unit, and we serve the collective as we serve ourselves. And the happiness, being happy or being fulfilled, it's important. We give that to the world. We give a fulfilled individual, self-realized individual. So as you see yourself in that future, or on your path, you can bring it into the present as well and feel it now as if it's happening, as it's happening now. It is happening, it is now. And feel the intention behind that vision. The intention comes from your heart. We don't want intention from the ego, because that, even if you achieve it, it will end up being empty.
So we want to fulfill the heart. When we create, when we manifest, we want to fulfill the heart. And it's not a matter of how much or how little you want or see or manifest, attract, envision, etc. It's about being in alignment. Everything around us is so abundant. Sunshine is abundant. Nature, flowers are abundant, and we can really jump into that expansion and abundance and create and serve. So hold that vision and feel your intention. Feel your heart connection to that vision. And flow with this contemplation in a contemplative, deeply inward state, inwardly turned state. You're turned inward. You're quietly creating a new commitment. We're doing this around this very popular eclipse that everyone is talking about. So eclipse is like the death and rebirth of the sun. So we're committing ourselves again to our higher self, to the divine, to our path, etc. And we're feeling why our heart, how we connect to that vision, why the intention. And we continue to unfold it. We see it a little deeper, a little better, a little crisper, a little more color there, a little more feeling, a little more smiles. Stay here, contemplate, it will take you places. And as you contemplate, flow with love, strength, and ease. Namaste.